Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mark Bruce. Welcome to the challenge. I'm excited. I hope you are. My number one goal is to help you get results and to help you get one step closer to winning the cash prizes, but also changing your current lifestyle to something that you are happy with and that can be a long-term change versus a short-term fix. So, here we are bringing to you our nutrition calculator. This is what we use with our clients to help them come up with a strategy at home in the kitchen so they get the best results possible when implementing strength training into their daily routine. So the two terms I'm going to talk to you about are going to be your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, and your total daily energy expenditure. So what are those, Mark? Happy to tell you. Your BMR is what you need every single day in order to keep your heart beating and to breathe. This is what you need just to open your eyes, lay in bed, and maintain who you are, how you function, how you move without even moving. Because once you start moving, then we introduce your total daily energy expenditure. And this means that not only do you have to eat a certain amount just to live and breathe and blink, you also have to implement a little bit more so you can handle whatever comes after you putting your feet on the ground, whether it's work, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's kids, whether it's family, whatever it might be right now. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through how you're going to calculate it using the PDF that we supplied on the Facebook group page. So I used my numbers, my height, my weight, yada, 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 to show you how I came up with all this stuff. Okay, it should only take you about maybe 5 minutes, if that. So if you click this link, it's going to take you to our BMR calculator. And what you're going to find here is you're just going to plug in these numbers. So if I come here, I'm going to go 31, 510, and I'm going to go 190. That's me. And this is what it comes up with. It comes up with 1,823 calories as my BMR. That is what I need to eat in order to make sure that I am still 190 pounds, I still look how I look, and I can breathe, and my heart and body can do what it needs to do. However, the minute I put my 2 feet on the ground and I start doing stuff, the whole game changes. So if I was sedentary and I did nothing, I just went to work, I just did typical stuff, I'd have to eat 2,188. So you notice, even if you're sedentary, that number should be a little bit higher because it's factoring in moving, going to work, expending energy. So you need to figure out where do you fall, and it's going to give you that number. So I am right in that intense exercise daily or intense exercise 6 to 7 times a week. That's me because I like to lift 4 days a week. I also do the Zoom classes, and I also am a strength coach. So I'm constantly in the weight room. I'm constantly moving. I'm picking up heavy objects. I also have another job where I'm constantly using my brain. I'm constantly moving around kids, constantly talking. So, my day-to-day is a little bit stressful and it's a little bit more taxing on my body. So I have to be on the higher range so I can handle all of that. So next, I want you to go to the PDF, and I want you to plug all that in. You got 1823 as your BMR, and your total calories is 3145. In order to figure out what your TDEE is, you need to just subtract, and this is what you come up with. Your next step is to come right down here, and now you have to figure out what should you be putting into your body. Now remember, we are not about having you count calories, having you weigh food, but you do have to be aware of what you're putting into your body so you can be accountable, so you can take control. The minute that you take control and make these choices without someone else giving you the meal plan, telling you what to do, it means that much more, and that now becomes a lifestyle. Instead of you buying something that's going to send you Tupperware with food in it that says, put this cup in there, that is now becoming a crutch. Because without that happening, you don't believe that you can do it. But if you can calculate this and then you understand what you need to do, that becomes a lifestyle. So next, plug in your body weight. And we're going to figure out how much protein, fat, and carbs you should be eating. Now down here, I gave you how many calories are in proteins and carbs and in fat so you can see the calories based on the grams. So if you're someone who is, so the protein is going to be based on your body weight, and also you're going to multiply that number by 0.6 to 1.0. So if you're someone who's only working out maybe 2 to 3 times a week, you're going to be between 0.6 and 0.8. You do have muscle, whether you believe it or not, and if you are exercising, you are fatiguing that muscle. So you need to provide it with the nutrients so it can adapt and grow, recover, and do all those good things. So me, because I do like to lift heavy weights, I'm constantly active lifting heavy stuff, my son, stuff around the house, stuff in the weight room, all that good stuff. I'm at that 1.0. I feel better when I'm ingesting more protein. So that is where I got 190 grams, and that's 760 calories. Next is fat. Everyone needs fat. Fat is very good for you. It's good for brain health. It's good for your immune function. It's good for hormones. If you aren't eating enough fat, especially for women, some negative things can happen. So you need to eat fat. You need to eat good fat. Doesn't mean saturated, doesn't mean fried food, but it means the good omegas, omega 3s, 6, and 9s, where you're going peanut butter, olive oil, avocado, nuts. All those are great things. So I like that to be on the higher range, because we do know that the more carb-friendly diets are more successful. That's going to help you more long-term. So I chose to be at that 40% range. So you're going to take your total calories between your BMR and your TDEE, and you're going to multiply it by a number in between 30 and 40%. So I chose 40. So I did just 3145 times 0.40, and that got me to 140 grams. So if you notice, there's 9 calories in every gram of fat. So that got me to 1258. Next, carbs. I just took whatever's left over. So I took the protein and I took the fat, and then I took the calories and I subtracted from 3145, and that got me 282 grams. Now, because of what I do on a day-to-day, I like to ingest a little higher amount of carbs because it just gives me energy. It helps me push through the long days in the weight room, my workouts, and being at home with my family. You may be someone who prefers higher fat because you feel better. So it's important that you pay attention to your body. If you feel sluggish and gross after a heavy carb meal, maybe you want to pull back a little bit. But again, we're going to take into account that your carbs will, your vegetables will count as carbs. So again, don't think you have to crush, rice, whole wheat bread, or, potatoes, whether it's yams or red potatoes, white potato, or oatmeal or anything like that. Your veggies will count to a certain degree. But again, good carbs are not going to make you feel sluggish. But if you're eating Pop-Tarts and, some old school cereal, that may make you feel sluggish and not have the energy that you want to have. So next, once I have all this number, the question is, all right, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do at home with these numbers? Well, number one, you have to figure out, what is your goal? What do you want to do? You want to gain weight? You want to lose weight? You want to maintain weight? Me personally, I want to maintain, because I know that where I'm at today is allowing me to do what I'm doing every day, having the energy to work with my clients, to do what I need to do at school, and to be at home with my family, and also to exercise daily. So if you are someone that wants to gain a pound or lose a pound, understand a pound is 3,500 calories. So what we do is we take that number, we divide it by 7, and that gives us 500. What I like to tell people is, between 250 and 500 calories, subtract it from that BMR, or that the BMR and TDEE. And that'll be what you should be eating depending on if you want to lose or gain weight. So if you want to lose 1 pound per week during this challenge, set an attainable goal. You could say, I want to lose 20 pounds every day, every week, but what happens? What happens if you don't lose 120 pounds by the end of the challenge? You're going to be upset. But if you say, I'm going to lose 1 pound, and you end up losing 10, well, great. That's awesome. So take that number, 250, and subtract it from your BMR, and try to track that. Try to make sure you know what that looks like. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with is going to be keys to succeed. Like I said before, you have to determine your goal. What do you want to do? Pick 3 simple things. If you want to lose a pound, if you want to make sure you're exercising 3 times a week, and then make sure you're eating vegetables in every meal. Those are attainable. Don't do something that's so far-fetched that if all of a sudden 2 weeks go by and you're like, I haven't even done this, now you're not going to be happy for the next 4 weeks, especially when you invested money. The second piece is going to be downloading MyFitnessPal. So you're probably saying, well, Mark, that's contradictory. You told us you don't want us to count calories or weigh food. You're right. I don't want you to do that for the long term. But again, you have to do something now to put yourself in that right state of mind so you are aware what you're doing and how to change. So if you download MyFitnessPal, I want you to track what you've been doing these last 5 to 7 days. How much you've been eating, what have you been eating? Because you're going to, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to be like, oh man, I'm so under eating. That's why I'm not getting results. Or you're going to say, like, I am crazy overeating with the snacks and overdoing it at dinner, not eating enough at breakfast, not eating anything at lunch, and then not drinking any water either. So track so you know what you are eating and then also what you should be eating. Because on MyFitnessPal, you can play around. You can see, all right, what does 1,200 calories look like? What does 2,000 calories look like? What does 150 grams of protein look like? How can I manipulate it so I'm not just eating 3 pounds of chicken? How can I add the peanut butter? How can I add the meats? And then last, you got to be consistent. It's never a 100% thing. You want to give 110% effort, but you don't want to do this Monday through Monday through Monday through Monday, because at the end of 6 weeks, I don't want you to be burnt out. I want you to be excited and ready to continue this lifestyle. So I want you to focus on 5 out of the 7 days of doing the things that you set out to do, whether it's exercising 3 days a week, whether it's being conscious in the kitchen. And then on the other 2 days, whether it's Friday night and Saturday night, relax a little bit. Have a drink or two with your loved ones, with your family. Have a meal that's outside of the ordinary, cheeseburger and fries. You're not going to ruin your results if you have 1 or 2 meals. If you go ham on the weekends and have pizza and beer and cheeseburgers and chicken wings and quesadillas, well, yes, tasted great in the moment, but the pound you just lost on Friday, you gained 2 of them on Monday. So now you got to work double time. So 5 out of 7, 80-20, be responsible 5 out of the 7 days, and watch that this can translate into a lifestyle. So this is the PDF we're supplying you. Watch this video. If you have any questions, just reach out. We're going to do live feeds to help educate you. I'm looking forward to working with you and meeting you. Have an awesome day, and let's get going.